Welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to be turning an old desk lamp into a studio light for me to be able to do close-up like electronics and so on with much better light. I've built my overhead lights and they work very well, but often when you're getting very low and very into intimate sort of electronics, it's very difficult to see what's going on as from behind the camera. It's fine for me, but the camera just doesn't pick it all up. So let's get on. This is the lamp, and this is exactly how I got it. The guy I got it from, sort of bless him, sort of plonker, he'd taken the plug off and he'd just shoved 2 clips on it and was sticking it to a 12-volt battery to try and get it to work, and I sort of explained that's not how they work. And he said, oh well then just keep it. So I was like, okay, I didn't mean it like that, and I tried to explain to him how to do it, but he wasn't interested. I won't go into the type of person he was, but we've all met one like it. I'm assuming there's one wire going up each one of these, or 2 up one or something. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm going to keep the wiring how it is, but I'm just going to change what's here and then the power in. I'm going to use the switch as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so unsurprisingly, inside we've got a transformer that would have dropped it down to probably around 12 volts. I might keep that transformer in there just as a ballast, just as weight to keep it up, or I might find something else to go in, I'm not sure. But let's have a look at what we're actually using. Inside here are the 2 wires that go up the aerial, basically the what we'd use as aerials, and then this is to the battery. While I've actually got it here now, I'm going to clean all this off a little bit, just so it looks a bit newer. Give it a bit of a clean. As I say, I was given it years ago, and then I will start wiring it out. Oh no, then I'll start taking this part apart. Too many parts. Okay, it's a little cleaner. Not perfect, but only my wife and children are, so we'll be happy with that. Right, next, let's work on this. I'm not sure what that stuff's made of, so I advise against doing that, and I advise breathing it in. Advise against breathing it in, I mean. What an idiot. I love being halfway through a video when I get a call from a computer telling me my Amazon Prime thing is going to be blown up and destroyed and the world's going to end. The only issue is I don't have Amazon Prime and I'm not a moron. So I just add them all to a blacklist so they just can't get hold of me anymore. Bloody idiots. We get so many cold calls from like scammers over here. You do everywhere, I know, but just does my head in. It's either your BT account's been hacked and you're going to die, or your Amazon Prime account's been hacked and you're going to die. So I quite often just get into blazing arguments with them. If it's a human being, I love it. We play so many blinking jokes on them. My wife's the best. She convinced one of the scammers to stay on the phone while she went and fed her pet pig that was in the kitchen. And she was also asking things like, will the cameras go off? They went, what cameras? And she goes, oh, I've got IP cameras all around the house. And they said, oh, no, they won't go off. It's absolutely fine. Thinking, oh, we're getting the money. This girl's a moron. She goes, oh, thank God, because she likes to inspect the people that she's got hidden in the dungeon and stuff. And they just carried on. They believed it all the way through until they were like, well, when they suddenly realised that she was messing with them, they started effing and blinding. But I was like, well done. That was my favourite ever cold call. She's so funny. Right, as you see, I just used a little crocodile clip to hold them together. Out of pure laziness, mostly. There we go. You know it's connected as well when the crocodile clip closes. Job done. Now let's just bend that one out of the way so I can do the other one. Okay, done. So next, I just chop off any pointy bits, because when I put the heat shrink tubing on, it will go right through the heat shrink tubing and we don't want that. Okay, done. The amount of times I've actually wanted to put heat shrink tubing on, I realised I've already connected it to whatever I needed to connect it to, and so the wires I can't get to. But there's been loads of times when I've remembered and I've put it on the wires and I've been like, yes, I've done it, and then I've soldered, but taken so long soldering that it's actually shrunk to the actual wire. Today you're blessed with this greatness. Okay, the first thing I need to do is connect the positive wire to the switch. That's the one that's going to be turned on and off. This is going to be fun because of where it is. Let's get my trusty crop clip and try and connect these together in such a way. Oh, nearly. What did I say I'd forget? Heat shrink. Now, I hope I'm not going to shrink this, but it's very, very short amounts of wire. We'll see. Okay. Now, I need to connect positive from this to this one here. I think I'm going to trim this down, but again we need to add our heat shrink tubing. See how good I'm getting? If you're not a patron, you might as well be now, you know, with all this quality bit of camera work. Doesn't help when everything's falling. Okay. Let's hope we haven't shrunk the heat shrink tubing too much. Can you hear that? That sound? That's the rain. The hail, I mean. That's literally 10 seconds of hail, not even that, but look at the size of the hailstones, they're like marbles. We don't get that in this country. Sorry about that interlude, but we genuinely do not get hail of any, you know, nowhere near that height. Right, I'm just gonna close this up with the heat shrink tubing, if I can. Okay, and the final connection is, nearly forgot the blinking heat shrink tubing again. It's a nightmare when I do, because I either then have to decide whether I'm going to put some insulation tape on it, which never works because my insulation tape's cheap and tacky and rubbish. I end up taking them apart and it does my head in. Now that wasn't a very good bond. In fact, it was awful. But it's enough. But that is a really bad join. So all I've done is I've connected the positive wire to the switch and then, you know, back and vice versa. So hopefully I've wired them up correctly. Okay, so all you need to do now is plonk this out, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a knot, basically, so it's like that, and it just can't accidentally get pulled out. And I just need to connect the base on now. As I say, I'm going to be keeping the transformer in here as ballast, as a bit of weight, just so that it doesn't get, you know, doesn't fall over easy. I could put other things in it, but I just don't have anything at the moment, so I'm going to screw the base back on. Okay, so you're going to want to use one of these, and I've put a link in the description. It's not to the guy I bought them off, or girl, obviously, but it's to one that I will have bought off by the time this video is out. I buy these all the time. They are exactly the same every single time. And I'm actually going to connect it to this wire, so that if anything happens to this, I can just unplug it and plug another one in. But first of all, I need to work out which one's which. Okay, so the one on the left is, or the one here is negative. One. Two. Okay, my soldering irons are way too hot, but still going to use it. So I'm way too impatient to wait. Let's do a little quick test. get a battery. This one won't be fully charged, so don't expect it to be too light, but yep, brilliant. Okay, a little bit of heat shrink. When I say a little bit, whatever. Are you going to fit on there? Just. Right, unplug this. Put this through the gap if it fits. Yes, it does. Happy days. I wasn't sure if it would. Now, we're nearly at the point of making this interesting. I have 2 bits of plastic that I've cut from a DVD case. This one, in fact. DVDs for the younger kids used to be things that you'd watch. They took over from videos, which took over... Anyway, enough of that. So, first off, I would like to put this... Let's try and drag this out a bit more. Oh, goody gumdrops. Let's just get you through. Okay. Line it up. You find the screw. Now I'm only using this bit of plastic as a backrest to be able to stick the actual light onto. That'll do. Now the next thing, I've got these, which are little standoffs for different circuitry. And I found a bunch of them, so I thought, you know what, this will make a really good way of keeping the diffuser away from the actual light. So, if I screw this in, there we go. Right, also I'm going to screw another one in at the exact size, and then this can actually go here and it will diffuse the light once we've stuck it on, of course. But I would like to sand this just to diffuse the light even more, so I'll do that now. Okay, before I glue the actual LED down, I would like to check once more that it's still working after I've bent and twisted the connectors and all sorts of other stuff, so we'll do that first. Yep, still working. Right, okay. So I am going to glue this, well, stick this here. They come with nice little sticky pads. So I'll do that, if I can get it off. I can never get this stuff off. Is that it? Yep. I normally peel the sticky bit off too. So let's just put that straight in the centre. That'll do. Beautiful. Now let's get some more of these razors, or whatever they're called. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is do a test without the diffuser, just to show you the difference that this should hopefully make. I haven't actually tried it myself yet, so let's show you. Okay, this is with no overhead lights on, also homemade, and this is them off, and this is the light on normal. Okay, and then this is with the diffuser on. Hope you can see the difference in the actual the camera, because it's quite a noticeable difference in real life. That is my main above lights, and then this is with the anti sort of glare diffuser on, and I think it's pretty damn good. And obviously it'll rise up and down depending on where you want it to go, and forward and backwards. And so now I can do a bit more of my up close projects until other such lighting arrives. how to make a diffused studio light out of an old desk lamp. And this literally cost, well, probably about £2.50. Bargain. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.